Mysticism in the Hebrew language. Language is power, life, and the instrument of culture, the instrument of domination and liberation. Angela Carter. The Sefer Yetzirah, Book of Formation or Book of Creation, is the earliest extant book on Jewish mysticism. Some scholars think of it as a treatise on mathematical and linguistic theory as opposed to the Kabbalah. It goes into detail on the creation of the universe by the God of Israel through 32 wondrous ways of wisdom. Though the origin of the text is unknown, it has been traditionally ascribed to the important biblical figure Abraham. Rabbi Saadia Gaon asserts the reason for the book was to convey in writing how the different elements of our universe came into being. Conversely, Spanish Jewish philosopher Judah Halevi of the 12th century asserted the book's main objective was to give a way for man to understand the omnipotence of God by showing the duality of reality. The Sefer Yetzirah opens with the following words: By 32 mysterious paths of wisdom, Yah has engraved all things, who is the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the living God, the Almighty God, He that is uplifted and exalted, He that dwells forever, and whose name is holy, having created His world by three derivatives of the Hebrew root word sephar, namely sefer, a book, sephor, a count, and seper, a story, along with 10 calibrations of empty space, 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, of which 3 are principal letters, 7 are double-sounding consonants, and 12 are ordinary letters. The Sefer Yetzirah breaks the Hebrew language into 3 types of letters: mothers, doubles, and singles, which are the cause of creation. Along with these letters are the 10 numbers or calibrations, which were the origin of the Sephiro or emanations in Kabbalah. This study of creation and emanation forming the basis of our universe focuses on the language found in the book of Genesis, which describes the beginning of its existence as we know it. The mothers of the language are the 3 letters in English, Shin, Mem, and Aleph. These letters symbolize the 3 primordial elements of all existing things. Fire, of which Shin is the most prominent sound, is represented by Shin. Water, the first letter of which is Mem in Hebrew, is symbolized by Mem. Air, the first letter of which in Hebrew is Aleph, is designated by Aleph. The 3 mothers also give a representation for the human form. The Shin or fire corresponds to the head, Mem or water corresponds to the belly, and Aleph or air corresponds to the chest. There's a good deal of emphasis placed on the phonetics and sounding of these letters when we study mysticism in the Hebraic alphabet. Mem is considered a mute since it is unaccompanied by sound. Shin, called the hissing Shin, is a sibilant, and the airy Aleph holds a place in between the mutes and the sibilants. The idea of the correlation between sound and meaning was highlighted by the Bubakiki effect experiment by psychologist Wolfgang Kohler. Dr. Kohler found that participants could overwhelmingly correctly choose a shape by a word given in a foreign language. How letters and words sound affect our relationship with them and therefore our perception of reality. There are 7 double letters in Hebrew which signify mutually opposed contrary forces in the universe. These letters are Beth, Gimel, Daleth, Kaf, Pe, Resh, and Tau. The 7 double letters produce the 7 planets, the 7 days, and the 7 apertures in man: 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, and 1 mouth. Again, as the 7 double letters vary, being pronounced either hard or soft, so the 7 planets are in continuous movement, approaching or receding from the earth. The 7 days, in like manner, were created by the 7 double letters because they change in time according to their relation to the planets. The 7 apertures in man connect him with the outer world as the 7 planets join heaven and earth. Hence, these organs are subject to the influence of the planets, the right eye being under Saturn, the left eye under Jupiter, and the like. Finally, there are 12 simple or single letters: He, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yod, Lamed, Samek, Ayin, Sade, and Kuf. The 12 simple letters create the 12 signs of the zodiac, whose relation to the earth is always simple or stable, and to them belong the 12 months in time, and the 12 leaders in man. The latter are those organs which perform functions in the body independent of the outside world, being the hands, feet, kidneys, gall, intestines, stomach, liver, pancreas, and spleen, and they are accordingly subject to the 12 signs of the zodiac. Whereas the 22 letters are the creative force of the universe, the 10 Sephiro are the form or molds which shape these forces. By combining emanation through the Sephiro with creation through the mothers, singles, and doubles, the Sefer Yetzirah attempts to harmonize the concept of divine eminence and transcendence. Originally, the Sephiro were seen as 10 different channels through which God reveals his will. These were later referred to as either the 10 manifestations of God, the 10 powers of the soul, or the 10 structural forces of nature. In the Sefer Yetzirah, they were only identified with attributes such as forward, backward, right, left, down, up, light, darkness, good, and evil. In later Kabbalah study, the Sephiro were given a ranking and a closer association with levels of consciousness. An example being Moses ben Jacob Cordovera in the 16th century, who associated the Sephiro, or Sephir as they became known, in the following manner: superconscience being the Keter or crown, the conscious intellect being the Chokmah or wisdom, and Binah, understanding, conscious emotions starting with primary emotions of Chesed, which are kindness, Gevurah, discipline, and Tiferet, which is glory, and the secondary emotions Netzach, which is victory, Hod, splendor, Yesod, foundation, and Malkuth, kingship. There is no end of study or depth that can be reached on Sefer Yetzirah, or these subsequent ideas and philosophies that have developed because of it. The book of Genesis, or Bereshit, meaning in the beginning, is seen as an account of the creation of the world, the early history of humanity, and of Israel's ancestors and the origins of the Jewish people. This importance is the impetus for finding as much meaning as is possible hidden within the text. Are there hidden messages and formulas that help to formulate the mechanics of the universe and our place in it? I believe that is a personal journey for seekers of spiritual truths to answer for themselves.